A bustling city bus stop. People are lining up to get on the bus. Among them is Jacob, a high school junior with a worn backpack, and Keisha, a middle-aged black woman dressed in a nurse's uniform. The bus pulls up and the crowd shuffles on. Jacob and Keisha find themselves standing next to each other, holding onto the overhead bars. Jacob had always taken the bus to school. It was a routine part of his day, the same faces, the same route. Today, however, would be different. As the bus filled up, Jacob noticed an elderly white man glaring at Keisha, who had just taken a seat near the front. "Move to the back," the man said gruffly. His voice carried an unsettling authority, drawing the attention of other passengers. Keisha looked up, startled but composed. "Excuse me?" Keisha asked, her voice firm but polite. "You heard me?" "Move to the back where you belong," the man repeated, louder this time, causing a hush to fall over the bus. Jacob felt a surge of anger. He had seen too many instances of quiet prejudice, too many moments where good people did nothing. This time, he decided, would be different. He stepped forward, his heart pounding. "She has every right to sit here," Jacob said, his voice steady but loud enough for everyone to hear. "This is 2024, not the 1960s. She's not moving." The elderly man looked at Jacob, a mix of surprise and disdain on his face. "And who are you to tell me what's right?" he sneered. "Just someone who believes in basic human decency," Jacob shot back. He turned to the other passengers, who were watching the exchange with a mixture of discomfort and curiosity. "Are we really going to let this happen? Are we just going to sit here and do nothing?" There was a moment of silence, then murmurs of agreement began to spread through the bus. One by one, other passengers voiced their support for Keisha, who looked at Jacob with a mixture of gratitude and surprise. The elderly man, seeing the tide turn against him, muttered under his breath and moved to the back of the bus. Jacob took a deep breath, the adrenaline still coursing through his veins. He offered Keisha a reassuring smile, and she returned it, her eyes shining with unspoken thanks. The bus continued its journey, the atmosphere tense but resolute. The next day, Jacob's act of bravery was the talk of his school. Friends and teachers approached him, praising his courage. Jacob shrugged off the compliments, insisting he had just done what anyone should have done. By lunchtime, however, the buzz had started to die down, and Jacob was grateful to return to his normal routine. Just as the final bell rang, signaling the end of the school day, Jacob's principal made an announcement over the PA system. "Jacob Carter, please come to the main office. Jacob Carter, to the main office." Puzzled, Jacob gathered his things and headed to the office. As he approached, he noticed a sleek black Mercedes parked out front, drawing the attention of students and staff alike. He entered the office to find Keisha standing with the principal, both of them smiling warmly. "Jacob," the principal began, "this is Keisha Johnson. She has something she'd like to share with you." Keisha stepped forward, her smile widening. "Jacob, yesterday you stood up for me in a way that touched my heart. It reminded me that there are still good people in the world, willing to do what's right. As a token of my gratitude, I wanted to do something special for you." Jacob looked at her, bewildered. "You don't need to thank me. I just did what anyone should have done." Keisha shook her head. "Not everyone would have had the courage to stand up like you did. It meant more to me than you know. And so, I spoke to a few friends, and we wanted to give you something to show our appreciation." She handed him a set of keys. Jacob looked at them, then at her, confusion turning to shock. "Wait, what?" Keisha nodded towards the window where the Mercedes was parked. "That car is for you. It's not brand new, but it's in excellent condition and it's yours now." Jacob's jaw dropped. "I can't accept this. It's too much." Keisha placed a hand on his shoulder. "You can, and you will. You've shown that kindness and bravery are still alive. This is just our way of saying thank you." The principal smiled. "We've arranged everything with your parents. They're very proud of you." Jacob felt a mix of emotions, gratitude, disbelief, and overwhelming humility. "Thank you," he managed to say, his voice choked with emotion. "Thank you so much." Keisha nodded, her eyes misty. You're welcome, Jacob. Keep standing up for what's right. The world needs more people like you. As Jacob drove the Mercedes home that day, he reflected on how a single moment of standing up for someone had led to such an unexpected and life-changing gesture. He vowed to continue being a voice for those who needed it, understanding that every act of kindness, no matter how small, could make a world of difference. The next day, as Jacob parked the Mercedes at school, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The car was more than just a vehicle. It was a symbol of the impact one person could have when they chose to stand up against injustice. And with that realization, Jacob walked into school with his head held high, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that he had the power to make a difference.